My name is Rostina Mbenya, Country Coordinator for PELUM Kenya. PELUM Kenya is a network of 57 CSOs in the country promoting agroecology principles and practices. And in our strategic plan, we have 5 thematic areas, and one of them is women and youth involvement in agroecology. And we are very happy because this PSAMY project has come in a timely time when PELUM is implementing its strategic plan 2021 to 2025. Actually, it's among the pioneer projects for us to involve ourselves more into youth in agriculture. This has been a challenge in the country, with an average age of a farmer being around 59 years in Kenya. And the PSAMY project has brought on board the youth, 5 participants from Kenya and 5 participants from FACHIG Trust in Zimbabwe, who are cross-sharing their knowledge and skills in the fields of agroecology and marketing. So far we have seen a lot of interesting discussions from the youth. They have also been able to take time and go to the farmers, and the farmers have really listened to them. And we are very happy as PELUM Kenya, because this is just the beginning of our work in youth and agriculture. And we are also taking a key active role in the ALTA initiative, which is also complementing this PSAMY project in terms of youth involvement in agriculture. To our viewers, I want to invite you to watch this video and learn from the PSAMY participants who are doing agroecology. We also urge all the farmers, particularly the smallholder farmers, to embrace agroecological principles and practices. Let us continue with our indigenous practices as our country, because the indigenous practices enhance our culture and heritage as a country. And our Article 11 of our Constitution talks about culture as the foundation of a nation. So all our small-scale farmers, just know that you are doing the right thing. Don't shy away from doing the indigenous practices. Don't shy away from practicing what we have been learning, and particularly reduction or no to inputs that are very harmful to the ecosystems, because we are aware that the ecosystems services are very important for pollination, for seed, for food, and for even nutritional security. So let us embrace the organic farming. Let us embrace permaculture practices. Let us embrace sustainable agriculture, and all of us try to support each other in the venture. We also call upon all the viewers to support the youth so that they can actively be involved in agriculture, so that we don't have an age gap in terms of involvement in agriculture, so that we can pass this generation knowledge that is helpful, that can feed the future generations. And as a country, that is very important for us. The youth have to be center in everything that we do, particularly in agriculture, which is a foundation or a key GDP contributor in Kenya.
My name is Joseph Lentunyoy from Laikipia Permaculture Centre. We work with the communities in Laikipia County, 15 groups, self-help groups. Most of them are women, 80%. 20% are men and youth. And we have been looking at different enterprises, one of them being Aloe secundiflora, which is an indigenous aloe that grows in Laikipia or north of Kenya. And these groups are utilizing this aloe in making cosmetics, both local cosmetics of soap, shampoo, shower jelly, creams, body lotion for the local market. And then we also connected them with Lush Cosmetics, which is a British company that has stores in 5 countries, Germany, Canada, Croatia, UK, and in South Africa, who buy fresh leaves from these groups. And then they go make their own cosmetics in their own countries. Then they sell it. Then they bring back community social responsibility in supporting communities to have better agronomic practices by putting systems or infrastructure to allow the communities do their own cosmetics. Aloe secundiflora. It's a plant that's almost extinct, and it falls under CITES, Conventional International Trade Endangered Species. As Laikipia Permaculture Centre, we look at different things, and mainly we look at the agronomic practices that we train farmers that we work with, which we call a food forest. A food forest is where all the plants is planted. We don't practice monocrops. You know, monocrop is one plant, which is an exploitation of the soil. Integration of different crops in the soil works much more better for the soils because we look at variety of plants, one of them being nitrogen fixers. Nitrogen fixers are able to capture nitrogen from the atmosphere and then put it in the ground for other crops that do not have that ability to absorb that nitrogen. Examples of plants that capture nitrogen from the ground are cowpea, beans, acacias. All of those plants have that ability. That's why where I'm standing now, you can see at the background, we have different plants. In a food forest, we're always talking about upper-story plants. Upper-story are the tallest plants that you can see. You can see banana here. This is Acacia polycantha. This one is Acacia mellifera. And then we have different species. We have avocado up there that go up. Those upper-story, some of them are nitrogen fixers. And then there is also understory. Understory are lower plants that do not really grow up, but they are under the upper-story. These plants can be fruit trees, can be lemon, like just how you see in the background. They can be papaya, oranges, and they can be consumed by human beings. Between the upper-story and understory, you have climbers. This can be passion fruit, plants that meander around the bigger trees and go up. Instead of having pegs to plant the passion, we just use a tree, we plant a passion underneath, and then they grow. Then we have ground covers. Ground covers are what you are seeing now here, sweet potato that cover the land. Because in permaculture, we believe that the land should be covered. And then in the system, we also have herbs. Like for example, this one is rosemary, this one is fennel, that one is mint. Herbs that also grow above the ground covers. This is what we call a food forest. A food forest should be able to provide all the needs to the humans. It should also be able to provide fodder for animals. For example, you can bring in fodder for cows. You can bring in napier grass. You can bring in Maasai love grass. So when you are coming here, you can also do shop and drop. So the relationship between animals, human beings, birds, microorganisms, plants, the soil, it should be a closed loop system where each element depends from one another. But here you are in the farm, getting your own food, getting food for your animals, taking care of the soil. And then at the end of the day, as a farmer, you make some money for economic development or for your own supply of income. And that's the reason where we are saying we need to take care of the planet so the planet takes care of us. Otherwise, if we don't work with nature, nature will work against us, and this will be very hard for the humans' existence on the planet Earth.
My name is Moses Kaisa. I'm a project participant for the promotion of sustainable agriculture and marketing through youth involvement. This is a project funded by the Norway Exchange Corporation, that's NOREC, through PELUM. At Laikipia Permaculture Centre, we are one of the member organizations, PELUM's member organizations, implementing this project. And one of the areas that as Laikipia Permaculture Centre that we've focused on is the cosmetic enterprise. We've trained them on value addition. There's certification, Aloe certification that is ongoing. They have they have packaged packages that which are well labeled. And again, we also market for them these products because they bring the products here at LPC, and then we market for them. This ensures that these farmers have an alternative livelihood. and now we're teaching them on how they can get alternative sources of livelihood. And one of the things that we're focusing on is these cosmetics, better marketing practices, from value chains, value addition, how they can value chain analysis and such things, and how they can well manage their groups through cooperatives. We are encouraging them to form cooperatives. Another aspect of this PSAMY project is that we're getting a lot of knowledge on aspects that we see, we as Kenyans or as the member organizations of PELUM do not have. Things to do with, as I have mentioned, things to do with marketing, value chains, market literacy, financial literacy. These are things that FACHIG Trust in Zimbabwe we're seeing them as experts because that's what they do mainly. At Laikipia Permaculture Centre, we support 15 groups. These are pastoralist groups. We support them in different levels, providing these farm inputs and capacity building.
My name is Pamela Ntunyoi. I am the agronomist at Laikipia Permaculture. I also work at Nabulu Women Group as a farm manager. And we have been working together with the women for 3 years. This is the 3rd year. We have been doing farming together. We are training them to do farming because they have, as you know, Maasais are pastoralists, so they don't know much about farming. So we are training them to do farming as a way of increasing their source of income. We train them on how to grow the Aloe secundiflora from the seedlings to the harvesting stage. And then from there, we also do the marketing to them. So I would like to say from seedlings, before transplanting the Aloe secundiflora to the field, we first of all plant them in the nursery. We do the management practices like watering, weeding, and then it stays there for 6 months before transplanting them to the field. After transplanting them to the field, we teach them how to plant, and then we watering and to control the pesticides, which the main pesticides here are the slugs, which destroys the Aloe secundiflora. And what we use here is ashes. We use ashes. They stay for 6 months in the field, and then we start the harvesting process, which we harvest the leaves and we sell them. We also use them to make the cosmetic products like soap, cream, and shampoo. Then now from there, we help them to market their products, which they sell here at LPC, and then that way they get income, which improve their livelihoods. The community really appreciates that practice because it has been helping them to get income. It is also helping them to control soil erosion, and mainly it has helped them a lot to improve their livelihoods. The main challenges are drought. We have also the wildlife attack, mainly the elephants, because the elephants destroy the aloes. It just steps on it and it finishes and no growth again. And you see, before you plant aloes, it take a lot of time before it grows.
Kwa majina naitwa Christine Mugo. Mimi ni secretary wa Nabulu Women Group. Tunakuanga wamama 25. Tunatengeneza sabuni, shampoo, lotion na cream. Na tunatumia aloe. Hii aloe tulipewa na LPC ikiwa wanatengeneza nursery huko, wanatupea, tunakuja kupanda. Tukitengeneza product zote 4, tuna pack, tuna LPC wanashukua, wanatuusia, hata wao pia wananunua, na tunausia hata community. Kuna wakati market ni mzuri, tunauza kwa mwezi kama sabuni 600. Tukiuza 600 kwa mwezi, tunagawa hizo pesa, tunanua product kidogo, tunaweka kwa account. Alafu ikifika mwisho wa mwaka tunatoa, tunagawa. Sisi tukiwa kikundi, tukiwa sasa Nabulu Women Group, sisi si kama wamama wale hawako kwa kikundi. Kiuza hizo vitu zetu tunagawa. Wakati hata watoto wanaenda shule, huwezi kosa kitu ya kubaia soap ama transport, tunapata tu kwa hiyo product zetu. Mbeleni tulikuwa tunashunga tu, hatuna mambo ingine. Na unajua huku mara kwa mara kiangazi inakuwa mara kwa mara. Na ukiwa hata na tumbusi ama ng'ombe sinaisha kwa ajili ya kiangazi. Lakini kama sasa, kama wakati huu sasa tuko, nadhani karibu kila boma sahii hatuna ng'ombe, mbuzi ziliisha. Lakini hii product yetu ikinini tu ikigrow kidogo, tunawana hata tutasawashana na hiyo ufugaji ya ng'ombe na nini. Juu sasa hata inasumbua, na hii haisumbui juu Aloe naye ukipanda haihitaji maji, ikishika tu ni hivyo. Uwezi hata ikiwa na kiangazi, uwezi kosa kunini, unatumia tu.